Welcome back to another episode of Commonly Asked Questions on Bees. Yesterday we talked about how many colonies one person could run, and we talked about that 500 was something that one experienced beekeeper could run. And this is a follow-up kind of question to that. What profit can reasonably be expected? So this is per hive, and you got to remember these are questions from 1922. So here's the answer. As much as $10 per colony has been secured where there are only a few colonies to the locality, but this is above average. And $2 to $3 a colony would be about the figure where there are large numbers of colonies. So that kind of goes back to what we talked about, to where it's better to have 80 hives that are really, really strong at the right times than 800 hives that are weak. One of the questions that I ask a lot, in fact, I ask every year of the places that we partner with, is what are your goals with bees? Many people don't really know, but they know they have to be involved. I think as the years go on, we realize the value of the bees on a farm, on a homestead, or even rented if they don't want to purchase hives. But let's get down into how much money could you make as a beekeeper? So let's go down this rabbit hole. I don't think we'll go through everything today, but let's get kind of started. So in 1922, the book said $10 per hive. Adjusted for inflation in 2025, you're looking at $190 per hive. So like the book said, if you don't have a lot of hives in one location, and you have quality forage, this is the profit you would be getting from one hive. Where there's a lot of bees, they said $2 to $3, so $38 to $57 of profit. That's what the answer was. So those are just numbers that were stated. $190 of revenue. What is that? If you sold honey for $1 an ounce, that hive would have to produce 11.875 pounds. So 12 pounds of honey sold at $1 an ounce would get you the $190. So this is, gross revenue. So let's say you made 15 pounds of high quality honey, and you could sell it for $1 an ounce, then you'd be kind of at the same place that they were back then, if that makes sense. If you wanted to make $100,000 a year in profit, and you could get $190 out of your hive every year, you need 527 hives. This is awful close to the 500 hives that we talked about yesterday. So if you wanted to be a full-time beekeeper, this is just a very simplified model. There's a lot of costs that go into this, obviously, and we're talking about profit here. So what whittles this profit down? What whittles it down is having to buy inputs. So if there are no blooms and you have to supplement feed, then that's going to cut down on your profit. If you have to pay employees to treat your bees, to feed your bees sugar syrup, that's another input, to buy vaporizers, even if you used the non-approved oxalic acid to try to not pay a price for the actual chemicals that you should be using, you still have to get people out there to treat. We've never treated, but I can tell you the costs of treating because we know what the requirements are for treating. If we were to treat appropriately, we'll go over that another day. But the less inputs that you can use in your beekeeping, the more successful you're going to be, the stronger your hives are going to be, and it is possible. Short and sweet, I think the numbers of yesteryears is about right. If you focus on making high quality honey, treatment-free honey, honey without chemicals, honey without additives, by reducing your inputs, I think you could get there. I think you could get to this point. So I hope that helps. Tomorrow we'll be talking about something a little bit different, but we'll be talking about increasing numbers next year. So I hope that helps. 500 is your magic number, and reducing your inputs as much as possible. We'll talk about inputs much more later. Be well.